Good evening, everybody! Welcome to the stream! I appreciate it! Hello there! Good evening, good afternoon, good morning! Hello there, Alexandro, Yuna Bear, Chaos! Hello there, everybody in the chat today. If you haven't voted yet on the poll, please do. I want to know what kind of audiences we have today. I see some of you have already watched both of the movies. Some of you don't plan to watch any of the movies, which is very convenient for me for this stream. How's everyone? How's everyone doing today? Does everybody know today's agenda? I'm gonna be reviewing Barbenheimer separately. As you can see from the top, on the top left, I will be reviewing Barbenheimer in a spoiler-free segment. But then later, I'll be reviewing it with a spoiler segment. So you would be able to know whether you are watching the spoiler-free one or the spoiler segments. I asked this yesterday, but I think a lot of you have plans on watching the movies. So just to be safe, I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free session for everybody here. But first, how is everybody doing today? How is everybody? How's everyone's Monday? For me, I did nothing much. Like, I accomplished everything that I have to do for my university and as well as my work. So I was able to rest a little bit for Monday. So it's fine. It's cool. How's everybody? Come on, chat. Don't tell me you have nothing to do this weekend. No plans at all? Because all I did these weekends, the past weekend, is like anticipate Barbenheimer for quite a while. I've been waiting for this movie to come out, and I'm so glad it finally did. Come on. So, before we actually start reviewing Barbenheimer, I do have a few disclosure. I do have a few things to address before we actually get started. We have a typhoon, but everything's normal aside from that. Oh no, we have a typhoon? Please be careful, Unibear. Typhoons are dangerous. I hope none of you are affected by the typhoon over there. Right? Everybody's safe, right? From your side. So before we actually get started, number one, I'm not gonna be addressing any of the discourse that's going on about Barbie in this review. So if you're expecting that from me, absolutely not. I'm not gonna discuss it. I won't if you know what's the discourse about going on in Barbie right now, then you know. But if you don't, I think it's better that you don't know the discourse going on around Barbie. And as for Oppenheimer, I'm not gonna be going into super details about it, about the war or anything like that, because it is a very sensitive topic, and I don't want to make careless statements regarding the topics that's included in Oppenheimer. Well, from the start, Oppenheimer isn't about the war; it's about Oppenheimer as a person. So there, we got it out of the way. Let's continue on. So the Barbenheimer experience, on my side, it costed about $12, in my opinion. It costed about $12, so it's definitely $24 overall if you plan to watch it on the same day. But honestly, because of its, it can get expensive if you watch two of the movies in the same day. I don't recommend it, since Barbie goes on for almost 2 hours. Meanwhile, Oppenheimer goes for 3 hours, and it can get very tough to get through. I don't really recommend watching Barbenheimer in one day, because it's better if you have time to process both of the movies. I've seen a lot of people go for Oppenheimer first before they watch Barbie, thinking that it will be a palate cleanser, but it's a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake because Oppenheimer can get depressing. The Oppenheimer is very depressing, not because it tackles heavy topics, but because of the person, of what Oppenheimer went through. It's a very haunting movie. So that's that. In my case, I watched Oppenheimer I watched Barbie first in one day and then went on to watch Oppenheimer for Sunday. So that's why it took me a little bit to like discuss about Oppenheimer to make this review. So a lot of people also had costumes on from the theater I was in. People were going in pink or going in suits. It was actually quite fun to see everybody just support and go all out in this movie. So for Barbie, I had pink gear on, but in Oppenheimer, I did not wear any suit because I was not allowed after the Minion fiasco. If you guys don't know that TikTok trend, where people kept throwing bananas in the cinemas, and it's just awful. And suits are included in that, like suits are associated with the Minion fiasco, so I wasn't able to go on suits anymore. And Oppenheimer has a special feature of having two shows that have different screen sizes. So if you want the full magic, it would have to be in IMAX theaters, but it would be very expensive. There's only like 19 theaters here in the US for IMAX showing. So when I watched the movie, I was a regular, and it didn't really ruin the experience for me. I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. And Barbie is fine to watch on a regular. It does not feel necessary to watch it on the super big screen. So it is cool. It was pretty cool. It was pretty fine. And a lot of people have told me they watched Oppenheimer around 6 p.m. I don't recommend that too much. You would be too sleepy to understand the movie, so beware. Barbie is better to watch at nighttime rather than watching it on the morning. So there's that. So here we are, like my review for Barbie, like what I felt about it. For the characters, if you have constant exposure to Barbie on social media, stop it immediately. Like seriously, it's best to watch Barbie blind. And I was lucky to watch Barbie without looking too much at the marketing and trailers, because this movie spoils itself a whole lot. A lot of people have felt like they watch half of the movie already, which is so hilarious because it is what it is. Margot Robbie as Barbie is truly a banger, but the one that stood out to me the most was Ryan Gosling as Ken. Hilariously, my Barbie Racky stream accidentally spoiled the movie. No one would know unless they watched the movie itself. Although this movie is primarily Barbie, I feel like the one that actually stood out was Ken and his characterization. He stumbled and grew as a person in the movie. It was heartwarming to see how he went from just Ken to Ken, finding his own identity besides pleasing Barbie. There are other characters here that I personally liked because of their meaningful addition. There's Hotter Ken, played by Saimu Yao. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but I hope I did. And if not, please correct me in the chat. And then we have Alan, played by Michael Cera from Scott Pilgrim, I believe. And surprisingly, this movie has a lot more female characters, but I remember the male characters more. And as for the plot is very simple. Nothing that the trailer hasn't shown you. Barbie's perfect life turned upside down because she started thinking about that. Then she found out she must go to the real world to find her owner. I went to this movie having no idea how it was going to have a conflict and end. I was pleasantly surprised but also disturbed at some parts by the plot. I thought it was going in a philosophical direction about living life, but then it fumbled the bag and went at a terrible pace. There are parts that made me go, was that really necessary to add here? Or, oh boy, this is going to have a lot of people talk. Then there's a scene where a character went on a 5-minute monologue that people would get upset about. I was sinking in my seat like, no, this can't be real. This movie is surprisingly almost 2 hours, but it felt like it wasn't 2 hours at all. There's so much eye candy and plastic to the point that even if it was a serious moment in the scene, it falls flat in some places. Not because Barbie established itself as comedy, but the plot is messy. Again, the 5-minute monologue is going to get some people talking. That's all I'm gonna have to say about the plot. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you have to watch the movie yourself or watch further into the stream to know about the spoilers. But other than that, that's all I'm gonna say. Anything that you see in the trailers is basically the same. Overall, I recommend this movie if you don't give any concern about the current conversation it has right now. Honestly, this is a fun movie. It is funny in many aspects, even if you have no experience with Barbie at all. Like, there are jokes you can relate to, but don't expect to, like, seriously burst out laughing hard. And Ryan Gosling, like, watch this for Ryan Gosling. He did such a good job as Ken. Like, I would think, are you sure this is a Barbie movie? Or is it the Ken movie? Like, all that I remember is Ken. Like, Ken is giving Ken energy in this movie. It was just so hilarious seeing him on the big screen, seeing him slay this part, and despite the marketing making it all about Barbie. Hello there, Trevor! Thank you so much for tuning in today's stream. Even though it's all about Barbie, I seriously favor Ken more than Barbie. Like, heck, I know Alan doesn't pop in too much, but Alan is also great. I love Alan so much in this movie. So, if you guys are not here for Barbie, was Ken Kenning in this movie? Yes, Ken was Kenning in this movie. Ken so hard. Okay, chat, like, Ken so hard. Like, it's honestly insane. I'm so proud of Ryan Gosling for just slaying his part so well. I just love it, chat. I just love it so much. And then, if you're gonna ask me if it lived up to its hype, if only the discourse in the movie wasn't taken in a way that can be offensive to many people, then it would have. But we'll talk about it in the later segment. Because honestly, this movie could have really slayed if, you know, the script wasn't... if the script wasn't just so offensive. Like, there's so many parts that is just so questionable about Barbie the movie that it is so hard to, like, appreciate it for what it is. Hello there, Mochi! Thank you so much for tuning in today's stream. I appreciate it. Now we're gonna be moving to Oppenheimer. Again, still no spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil anything in the chat right now. So, technically, this movie is already spoiled. Oppenheimer is an account for a real-life person. But for those who don't know, Oppenheimer, he is the father of the atomic bomb. The one who called himself Death, the destroyer of worlds. He's technically right though. After he created the bomb, it inspired many wars after World War II. And despite the popular belief, it really isn't about World War II, surprisingly. You're a writer. Of course the script is your concern. I will talk about this later in the spoilers segment. So please bear with me if I'm like taking my time for the spoiler-free segment. Like, I have so much problem with Barbie in terms of the script. And when I saw who wrote the script for Barbie, I am so mad. But we'll talk about that later. So, Oppenheimer is not about World War II. Again, it is about the person himself, the man, the legend, Oppenheimer. And the thing about World War II movies is that it's already taken, like, it's already oversaturated. A lot of people have made commentaries about it, but here in Oppenheimer, I am actually impressed with Nolan that he was able to take this movie into a fresh start. Like, it didn't feel about the war, it felt about the person. I felt connected in some way to Oppenheimer, even though I'm not a genius myself, which is amazing, which is so good. So, like, Oppenheimer, like many of us, is terrible at practical tests. Like, he's bad at hands-on activity, to the point he almost poisoned his tutor. It was insane. Like, this is the man that almost poisoned his teacher. I'm gonna watch Oppenheimer. I absolutely love Stuff Go Boom Boom. I think the movie Oppenheimer is more like a thesis of him. Yes, it is more of a thesis to Oppenheimer, which is so great because I'm already tired of war commentary. Like, it's done. Let's move on to another topic, please. And then, after he almost poisoned his tutor, he didn't actually poison him. He was openly depressed because of his helplessness from learning in class. Like, a genius can get depressed because he isn't learning anything. It's understandable. Until one day he had the opportunity to learn from Max Born in Gothenburg. Hello there, Admiral. Thank you so much for tuning into today's stream. And then he started out studying black holes. Like, Oppenheimer wasn't like a physicist for bombs right away. He wanted to study space, or particularly black holes, until he was fascinated by quantum mechanics. Yes, Christopher Nolan directed Oppenheimer, which speaks a lot for the movie already. And at that time, US did not have any classes in quantum mechanics. Like, quantum mechanics is rare. It was literally just invented in that time. And Oppenheimer may be a nerd, but the movie portrayed him to be a charismatic and good leader, able to recruit over 600 scientists for the Manhattan Project, despite him estimating only to gather about 6 for his team. It's crazy, because Oppenheimer is a good leader, and he's very charismatic in real life, so I'm glad the movie portrayed that very well here. He isn't like formed to be like he isn't formed to be a loser or anything. He's actually pretty much a winner. He keeps winning. And despite his contributions to the war, he was falsely accused of being unloyal to the United States and was accused of being a Soviet spy. And it's funny because it happens with a lot of war heroes so far that I've seen, like Alan Turing, who he's British, and he's the one that contributed. He's the one that decoded the messages between Germany and one of their alliances. But even he is also accused of many things. Like, it's really sad. Like, a lot of war heroes that we know have been accused of not being loyal to their country or becoming a spy. And only now that we get to discover that they were innocent all along, which is sad. I love that Oppenheimer hates senseless death, but invents the nuke. Yeah, exactly. But listen, it's not like he enjoyed making the nuke either way. We'll get to that in the spoiler segment. We'll talk about it seriously in the spoiler segment. And then, hold on. Okay. Other than that, in the movie, he was told that the atomic bomb will only be used to make their enemies surrender. Like, yeah, he was deceived. In some way, he was deceived because he was convinced that the bomb is only used to scare their enemies, but then he was suddenly surprised the atomic bomb was already killing thousands of innocent people, which is really sad. Like, this is what happens when science is taken in a direction that is against humanity rather than for humanity. It's crazy. Because if you think about it, science, in a sense, is for the privilege. Like, there are a lot of countries that cannot advance scientifically because they do not have the money for it. But here we are with many countries, countries with funds that are able to continue funding their scientific inventions. And that is why this is happening in the first place, which is sad. In the end, a lot of countries that don't have the money or don't have the economic power are the ones suffering the aftermath of the war. And it's really nice. It's really nice to have it shown here in the movie. Honestly, I like movies where the person that creates the big old weapon absolutely hates what they create. Exactly. And it's not just creators who made destructive things. It's also, there are creators out there that had their invention be used against evil. You know, like bombs, the use of gunpowder was originated in China, right? They used it for fireworks. It's beautiful. It's used to celebrate something. But then the way that gunpowder was taken and interpreted, it became it is used for cannons, guns, to strike, to kill people. Like, sometimes it isn't the creator's fault. It's how society perceived that kind of invention. And I love the scientific parts. It's my favorite parts in a movie. Just them explain how a thing works. I love it. I agree. I would say no one is innocent during war. Yes, no one is innocent, but there are civilians. Like, civilians who have no contribution to the war, have no incentive in the war, shouldn't be harmed, but they got harmed anyway, and that's a crime. So, when Oppenheimer saw the horrors of his creation, he cannot stop it. Like, there's no way he can stop it. It's already being used. But he can stop the development of other atomic bombs. And when he tried telling it to President Truman, he was dismissed. He was said as a coward. It's sad. It's really sad. Like, people continue to make atomic bombs now for defense. Can we stop them? Do we blame them? Of course not. And as someone that watched movies about brilliant individuals like Alan Turing and T.E. Lawrence, this movie does not present Oppenheimer in a way for you to admire him. Don't get me wrong, chat. This isn't about a movie to admire him. This is more of like a cautionary tale, a Greek tragedy about the dangers of science and the pursuit of knowledge. And it's actually pretty cool that Christopher Nolan knows how to portray this kind of message clearly. Hello, how is the review going? It's going nicely. Thank you very much, Tian. Thank you so much. And then, this isn't a movie. Also, by the way, despite being about the atomic bomb, there's rarely any bombings. To your disappointment, I apologize. It's really about Oppenheimer as a person. It's more of a political horror. You know, like I said, it's a Greek tragedy. And it isn't really there to please atomic bomb fans or World War connoisseurs. It actually disturbs me if people meme it that way, because Nolan did not hesitate in making the audience feel anxious, disturbed, or even feel the trauma that Oppenheimer has to go through. It actually feels like being in Oppenheimer's shoes and feeling the invisible blood on your hands. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Exactly. And it's a good quote. I'm glad you put that in the chat. It is a really good quote. And then overall, like, the movie is very enjoyable. But again, it's enjoyable in a way that makes you want to think at night, makes you want not to sleep at night. It's pretty good. Like, if you want to feel haunted by history or to be plagued with philosophical thoughts, then I recommend Oppenheimer. I genuinely enjoyed Oppenheimer more than Barbie. Like, a lot of people would say like they would enjoy Barbie more because, you know, it's not supposed to be serious, but I swear, Oppenheimer really nailed it. But trigger warning, by the way, it has trigger warnings. It contains PTSD and a little bit of depression. So if you're not comfortable with that, seeing it on screen, be careful. Viewers discretion advised. I see we are getting into political war commentary. Love my anime girls like that. I'm not making any war commentary. I'm just like explaining what happened in the movie. Utterly disgusting. True. I don't think so. I don't like to think so. I guess no Oppenheimer for me. Yeah, that's fine, Unibear. Not a lot of people would like this movie, and it's understandable. This movie also goes on for 3 hours. Because again, it's difficult. Like, it's truly difficult. Like, it's difficult to go through. It's one of the most haunting movies that I ever have to watch regarding a person that contributed to the war. So, I truly hope it gets Oscars because the script, so good. Like, Christopher Nolan directed this so beautifully. Like, damn. Actually amazing. And now, it's about time. That's the non-spoiler that's the spoiler-free segment. Let's switch over to the spoiler segment. I'm gonna be talking about that a whole lot. I'm gonna be like no filter here, absolutely no filter. I have a lot to say about Barbie, but also a lot to say about Oppenheimer, so let's switch. Okay. So here we are in the spoiler segment. Look, it's an Oppenheimer themed room, okay? It's an Oppenheimer themed room, and it's perfect. It's perfect. So here we go. Like, oh, okay. For everybody, Unibear, if you want to watch Barbie with no spoilers, please, feel free to exit now or feel free to mute this stream. But for those that want to hear my thoughts on Barbie, prepare, because I'm not going to be holding back here because there are some issues that I have with Barbie that I really didn't like. And although I won't be joining in the discourse that it has right now, but I feel like I should point some things out about Barbie. So, although it's entertaining in a sense, I feel disappointed for Barbie. I'm genuinely disappointed. Like, a lot of people were happy when Greta Gerwig is the one that's going to be directing this film, but I winced, you know. I was hesitant. Like, she directed the film Little Women,
I know in some way that it's already gonna have gender messages in it, but damn, like this one really took it way too much. Like out of all writers that Mattel could have hired for this movie, they could have kept Greta as a director, but Mattel already had good writers in the industry to work on Barbie movies, like Barbie and the Magic Pegasus, Barbie and the Diamond Castle, Barbie and the Christmas Carol. There's so many good writers that work on their animated movies. And it genuinely baffles me that Mattel allowed this movie to go in a direction that not only paints them as bad, but also destroys what Barbie stands for. Like, there's a point in the movie where it actually shows you Mattel being a terrible company downright. Like, it's like people would find it funny, like people would find it funny, like a corporate is making fun of themselves. The thing is, the reason why they are able to make fun of themselves is because nobody is gonna take it seriously. It's crazy, you know. They're still making they're still making money out of this. It's just crazy how Mattel is actually going for this kind of execution when it comes to the movie. Hello there, Joey. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So, it's just sad because of the execution that the Barbie the movie has, a lot of people are associating with the movie, with the whole franchise and the animations, declaring Barbie is genuinely bad for young girls, which is not true. Like, the Barbie movie is separate from the whole franchise. Anime and cartoons got fucked up by real-life movies first time? No, it's not the first time. But you know, a lot of people, including me, a lot of people want this movie to succeed. Like, yes, it's succeeding now. It's making a lot of profit, but script-wise, story-wise, I never felt so genuinely disappointed. Like, I really thought that this movie was going in a wayward direction, you know? Like, I thought it's gonna be about life, you know, because Barbie was tired of the same old routine. Like, every day is a perfect day. And a lot of people can relate to that, including me. Because if every day is a happy day, like, how are you supposed to grow as a person? How are you able to think for yourself? Like, every day is a happy day. Shouldn't you be happy? I thought it was gonna go in that direction. I just feel so mildly disappointed about it. What do you think about people complaining the film is too feminine? Well, it's freaking Barbie. Of course it's gonna be feminine. I don't know what people expected, but people are not complaining about Barbie for being too feminine. It is complaining, the people are complaining about the fact it is enforcing gender ideas that are harmful. And as much as I want to give commentary on that, if I talk about it, it gives it more power. The harmful ideas that Barbie has, it gains more power if I talk about it. But in my case, Barbie really didn't need to be about gender ideas. It didn't have to be. Like, Barbie the animations didn't even talk about that. Barbie the animations celebrated the fact that Barbie can be a feminine hero and still be able to save the day. Better not give it too much expectations to real-life movies with today's politically correctness. Exactly, and that's what disappointed me about Barbie. Like, seriously, Mattel, this is the way that you want to present Barbie? Like, Barbie was already doing fine without all of this kind of messaging. And it sucks because the movie was so contradicting to its message. Like, right at the end of the movie, it showed Barbie wanting to be human, wanting to be removed from the negative and positive connotations it has. Because Barbie as the idea is something that she cannot control anymore. Like, it's not her fault. People think that she's a negative image to to women's bodies. It's not her fault. She is not the one that made herself that way. It is the creators. It is the people that made her to be this way. She can't control that. And that's what annoys me so much, because people are directing their anger to the wrong things. It isn't the franchise. It isn't Barbie the franchise that's doing this, that's encouraging this. It's the people behind the franchise. And it upsets me because it does not need to be portrayed that way. This movie does not need to be portrayed in a sense that it oppresses others. It should be about a movie that strips away from that kind of notion. I don't know, I'm just like seriously sad about it. And there are also complaints about it rejects motherhood or hetero romances. But the thing is, Barbie in the movie helped out a family, a mother and a daughter. A mother who lost passion over her work, and she has a daughter that strays away from her as she grows up. And I can understand that. I felt that, chat. I understood that because it's tough. Like, it's tough being a mother. You know, when you have a daughter that you can't exactly connect to. And one of the things that you used to connect to was Barbie. A lot of people can connect to that because, well, I don't have a mother. I don't have a mother that loves Barbie, but I do know some people that connect with their daughters through the Barbie movies or through the Barbie dolls. And it's being presented in this kind of fashion that, you know, it rejects the idea. And it's just so sad. Like, is this how it is? Like, is this how the movie is gonna be? That's what I'm disappointed about. The script, like, it has some positive messages here. But in some way, it got distorted. And it's sad, like, what happened to the writing? Because I saw that one person wrote this, but it felt like it is taken in all sorts of directions. Like, 7 people wrote this script, even though it's only credited to one person. I heard the writers hated working on this movie. There's only one writer credited, and that was Greta. Greta is the only one credited here. Hello there, Eagle! Thank you so much for tuning in today's stream. And it's so sad, chat. If you only knew. Because they wanted to write an anti-Barbie movie. Well, they shouldn't be working on Barbie movies either. Like, listen, chat. I know people make fun of Barbie for being too feminine and all that stuff. But it's also sad because we're also rejecting Barbie. We're also rejecting an idea of being feminine is bad. Like, no, it's not bad. It's not bad being feminine or being traditionally feminine. It had more than 5. I got mad with the director and stuff. Damn. Is it because there's only one credited writer here? Hello there, Adashi. Hello there, Nitro Man. It just sucks, chat. It just really sucks. And gosh, I actually love the ending of this movie. Because as Ruth, the creator of Barbie, she actually approached Barbie. Like, Barbie asked, can I be a human? Can I be something more can I be more than an idea that society has placed on me? And then Ruth said, you don't need my permission, child. And that struck me, chat. That struck me so hard. Because it is one of the similarities between Barbie and Oppenheimer. But just, it's the same coin, but 2 different sides. And we will get to that. We'll get to that. I'll tell you. Barbie is a creation. She's an idea. And the person behind her, Ruth, she didn't invent Barbie to cause oppression to young little girls. She wanted to inspire little girls to be someone they can be proud of. And Barbie is taken all sorts of is interpreted in all sorts of ways that it's beyond what the creator thought of. Alright, looks like my chat earlier contains words that YouTube doesn't like. I'm sorry about that. I can't control YouTube chat. So there we go. Next, I'm gonna be talking about Oppenheimer. And also, why do I think Oppenheimer and Barbie is interconnected? So, Barbie and Oppenheimer have like different genres, right? They have different storylines and cultural significances, but they have one similar theme, and that is inventor versus creation. Remember that, chat. It's inventor versus creation. Because even though the expectation for Oppenheimer was about the bomb, it generally falls under the human perspective that Oppenheimer had to face during the war, aka the moralities and ethics behind dropping this bomb in Japan. Despite being regarded as a war hero, Oppenheimer was alienated by his society for being a crybaby about his decisions in releasing this bomb on civilians. His creation literally killed him inside. Literally. Like, the one that he created is the one that brought his downfall. Meanwhile, in Barbie, we get to know Barbie as idea, the creation, and how it affects the real world from past to today. It is undeniable that Barbie has always been a controversial topic when it comes to being a role model for women and girls, particularly how Barbie seems way too perfect and her body proportions doesn't allow women to have a body to be proud of. Barbie is also sexualized and overly pretty, common commentary for Barbie, like literally impossible to achieve her kind of beauty standards. But if we look at Ruth, Barbie's creator, she made this doll because at the time, there were no women dolls. I doubt Barbie was created by Ruth to insinuate the negative connotations Barbie is attached to today. And even Barbie by the end of the movie doesn't want to live as these negative and positive connotations. She wanted to be human. We established that. Allowing creation to grow past their inventors by its own right. Do you see the similarities here? Like, do you see a common theme here? Oppenheimer was the creator, and Barbie was the creation. Do you see that? Two different ideas, but they both affected the world negatively. Ruth didn't intend to be negative. Oppenheimer didn't intend to be negative because he was led to believe that it was going to be a threat rather than an actual weapon. It's sad, chat. It's crazy. So basically, the Blonde Idol toy movie was written beyond what it should be. Yes, Barbie wanted to be written beyond what people thought people would. Barbie wanted to be someone else that people thought her to be. Yeah, what a nice way to put things in. Exactly. Like, I know Barbenheimer is a meme. I thought so too. And jump on the meme bandwagon for the sake of hee-hees. But I am genuinely shocked at the realization when I got home. Because it was definitely coincidental. And I'm not even sure if people have even picked up on these similar themes. But I was surprised. You know, if you think about it, as an artist, writer, streamer, we make things. I'm sure you can relate to this too, since some of you here are writers. We produce these works of arts and inventions for good. Hopefully, we produce it for good. Somehow, in some way, we, the creators, would be disillusioned in some capacity because society views ideas differently. Like Oppenheimer in the movie was led to believe making this bomb was going to make the Japanese submit to defeat. Little did he know the bombs were already used to obliterate thousands of civilians. He tried expressing his concerns, but he was shunned down. At this time, there was no room to hesitate or even think about moral consequences. Because while America was rushing to make a bomb, the other countries were already having their bombs ready to go. Like, Oppenheimer cannot retract his creation anymore. It is out in the world. Same thing with Barbie, with decades of history creating a cultural impact on women's images in society. Like, if I had to be honest, like, Barbie did not have to pivot into such a negative reputation. In the first place, if you think about it, why are we putting such an important title on Barbie, the doll? Barbie cannot control how she presents herself to the world. She's not a person, but people are labeling her as role model. She should be a role model to girls all over the world. But Ruth didn't make it to be like a role model. But people perceived it that way. Oh, as always, writers is trying to convey moral messages on a wrong outlet. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Adashi. It's true. Nukem, exactly! That's it, Barbie is a freaking toy. That's the thing. Why are we expecting a literal doll to be a role model for girls? Think about that for a second. Think about that. It's so confusing. It's so confusing to me in the first place. How did society come to the idea that we should make Barbie as a role model? I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. But we cannot ignore that Oppenheimer saved 1 million American that was estimated will be KIA on the Japanese main islands. Yes, we cannot ignore that. Oppenheimer did save a lot of American lives. But we also cannot deny that even if one country wins in war, nobody really ever does win in war. Like, Oppenheimer wished that the bomb didn't have to be used that way, but we have no choice. This is what happens when a writer, artist, inventor's creation is out of their control now. It's beyond their control. But somehow the creators are the one being accused of being immoral. And it's sad. Because they, we didn't create this. Like, they didn't create this to cause an extraneous amount of harm. No. We put our work out into the world, and it's already up to the world on how to perceive our creations. And as a creator myself, it terrifies me. Yeah, the doll isn't based on a superhero. It's a doll. It's just a doll. It's a toy. Nobody wins. And it terrifies me, chat. Because if you think about it, like if you think about Oppenheimer and Barbie, the creation, like any creator out there that tries to put their work out for the good or tries to inspire somebody in some way or another, it's still going to affect people negatively. And it's so sad. It's really sad. And me, as a writer, as Miki Astrophel, I'm terrified. I'm genuinely terrified, chat. Because although I present myself in this manner to you guys, I don't know what kind of image I already present that you guys think of me. But the way that I portray myself as Miki Astrophel, I try to portray myself as a person that is really good at writing, that wants to tell a story, but at the same time, it's already beyond my control and how people will see me now. And it's, as a creator, what do you do then? How do you reverse any kind of damages that you can place upon people? For the side of US, yay. Yes. But how about the side of Japan? The devastation when the nuke touched the ground and the aftermaths. Exactly. Planes are example, it's for flying first, then it became weaponized flying thing. Exactly. And by the way, planes were made not to be a weapon, but to bring people convenience, to travel places easily. But somehow, in some way, it's anything that people can produce, it can be used against them. Yeah, Markiplier has said that too. Exactly. Then it makes me question, as a creator, what do we do now? What? It's honestly what do we do now? What do we do if our creations get interpreted in a way that is beyond our control? See? And according to the Barbie ending, it's really up to society. It's really up to society. Only society has the power to remove itself from the connotations it once attached to. And it's such a beautiful message that is sadly ignored because people prefer to talk about the negative discourse around the Barbie movie. Yeah, you go on. Yeah, you also go on. And that's why to me, Barbenheimer is such an eye-opener. Like, man, when I finished watching both of these movies, it hit me like a truck, guys. It hit me so hard. Because I didn't care about the gender discourse in Barbie. I didn't care about the war or Oppenheimer as a person. I cared about the discourse of creation and inventing. Creation and the inventor. Since the birth of YouTube, creators have said, "You will never know us. We are complete strangers. You consume what we make." Exactly. And it is true. And sometimes the things we make don't always go in a direction we want. And no matter how much we try, there's nothing we can do to reverse what we created anymore. It's out there in the world. That's why I can only beg, that's why I can only hope that whenever a creator creates something and puts it out in the world, I hope that it is taken in a direction that it is positive, that can positively impact people. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing, Pak Yujin. Thank you so much. Thank you. I may use a knife maker example. Knife is a useful kitchen appliance, but can be used as violence appliance as well. It is logical to blame the knife maker. Yeah, exactly. But somehow in this movie, somehow in these two movies, both the creators are blamed for something we cannot control as creators. See, chat? Like, people are mad. Like, people that are mad about the gender discourse in Barbie movie are blaming Barbie franchise itself. It's crazy. Oppenheimer became dead himself as just one creation. Exactly. Yeah, hello, one of us! Thank you, Pak Yujin. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's because we know who made Barbie and the bomb. We don't know who made the knife. Yeah, it's easy to blame the creation of things when we know the creator. When in the first place, that is shifting the blame. Like, why are we putting the blame on one person alone, aka the creator we know, when we should be blaming ourselves as well? Because we have the contribution on why some of these creations have already been used for the bad. Exactly. People will always find the bad in it. And that's the thing. That's the thing that I've always viewed on. That's my reaction when people were commentating about Barbie the movie, all of the gender discourse in it. I was sitting there, out of all of the things that you could take away from this movie, you thought of that first. It's baffling to me, chat. It's honestly disappointing. But I don't blame people for it. It is a harmful ideology that Barbie the movie has included in their themes, in their script. And I wish it wasn't that way. Because Barbie, the animation, and the franchise isn't terrible. Yeah, you didn't even hear the worst opinions yet. And I'd rather not. Because I'm not the type of person to digest content and yell about it. Even though I'm yelling about it now. It's kind of funny, but I'm the type of person to take, whether it's negative or positive ideas, I make an opinion about it. I make my own realization. I think about it. Does this affect me personally? And if it doesn't, I'm not gonna comment about it. Alright, how about the plane inventor? Is it logical to blame the Wright brothers for the bomber plane? It's the same thing with Oppenheimer. Can you blame Oppenheimer for making the bomb? It's like when my mom looks at mostly 90 upgrades and see my math and be like, why is it not 90? And ignores the other subjects. That's also the thing. That's a good idea. That's a good similarity emoji. We ignore the good things because we're focused on one singular bad. And that's the problem. That's the absolute problem. We do not celebrate the things that makes something good. One flaw, one mistake, boom, it's already trash. And that's sad to me, chat. It's sad. We could be talking about other things, like other positive things, but instead we're focusing our energy into something bad, which shouldn't be the case. There's a funny message man who popularized the plane. Exactly. I was about to write one of them here. I'm so glad you brought that up, Mochi. Honestly, that's a good similarity. And that's why I'm presenting my thoughts to you, chat. Because it's not about those. It's really not about those. You know? Like, this is what I came up with. Like, the only time negative connotations will affect you is when you allow them to. And I don't let it allow me. Like, I don't allow myself to be affected by that. I want to take the messages I want to take away from these movies. I want it to be different. And I'm so glad that I got it differently. And I'm so glad that I'm sharing it with you guys. And I'm so glad you guys share the same, or some of them are the same sentiment as me. It's really sad, but that's just reality. Nothing is ever good enough until it's perfect, and still won't be good enough 90% of the time. A lot of discourse goes around internet about it. It's easy to blame them. Exactly. Honestly. But what about you, chat? Let me see. What is the result of the poll? Like, I want to know. You watch both? There are people that are about to watch both. There are people that... Wow, there are 24 people? 24 votes in this poll? So, what about the people that watch both of them? Like, what do you think? And for the people that watch only one of them, what did you think about the movie? Like, let's discuss. Let's exchange some ideas here. Like, what do you think? And for those that have no plans at all to watch the movie, what made you not watch it? Oppenheimer made exactly the bomb or the formula that can be applied to a nuclear bomb. It's both. He made both. He made both. He made the formula and the bomb. He didn't exactly make it by hand, but he did direct on how the project will go. Hello there, Em! Thank you so much for tuning in today's stream. Yeah, it's What about you guys? What did you think about Barbenheimer? What did you think about... sorry. I watched the Barbie movie. I really like it. I wasn't planning to watch both on the same day, but I couldn't. I don't really recommend it. I don't recommend watching Barbenheimer in the same day. You know what? If Germany didn't invent the missiles, we won't be sitting here talking with each other. Probably true, but listen. Here's the thing about creation. Even if it's not invented, in some way or another, people will find ways to invent that in another way. The Oppenheimer blame isn't baseless then. Exactly. That's the thing. When this movie came out, the Oppenheimer movie, it isn't telling you to be regretful, like to feel pity for Oppenheimer. It isn't about that. It's the dangers of science being taken into all sorts of directions that is bad. Hello there, Ramon! You're doing exactly what we discussed earlier. We're gonna watch Barbie yesterday, but we watched K-pop for a friend who is going to the province, and Oppenheimer, I'm waiting for... Okay. Listen, I really recommend watching both of these movies. Although people argue that you shouldn't watch Barbie, I'm still gonna tell you to watch Barbenheimer. Watch Barbenheimer for the sake of the message of inventor versus creation. I've only watched Oppenheimer and it's a really good movie. It made me think who or what is really to blame. No one is to blame. That's the thing about war, chat. There is no one to blame in war. There's no one to blame. You can't blame... There's really no one to blame. No one is innocent in war. Nobody wins in war. Because in some way or another, we have caused oppression to one person to another. It's insane. It's honestly insane. That's what I got. That's what I got from the Barbenheimer movie. The one to blame isn't the higher-ups? No. It's not. Even the higher-ups are not to blame for this. The world is very complicated, chat. The world is very complicated. The only thing that we should be grateful of right now, the only thing that we should focus on is to be grateful that people have found other ways to settle agreements and disagreements through civilized talks. There are no heroes, there are no villains, only sons and daughters. Exactly. As both for these movies, I won't watch any of them. I'd rather watch Shin Kamen Rider 2023. War does not determine who is right, only those who are left. Exactly. Man, the most active person in chat is Stream Elements. Stream Elements is a bot, chat. Ignore it. Ignore that. Ignore Stream Elements. But what about else? Like, those who watch Barbie movie or Oppenheimer, what did you think? Like, how would you rate it? If you're asking me, chat, if you're asking me how would I would rate Barbie, plot 6 out of 10. I only gave it like a plus point. It should be like 4 out of 10. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. Cruisa Dope? Huh. Oh my god. Are. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you. If you guys don't know, Cruisa Dope is the one that made the music from the non-spoiler segment. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. I am very, very honored. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So for Barbie, the plot is 6 out of 10. I only gave it 6 out of 10 because of Ken. Characters, I would give it an 8 out of 10. And soundtrack, 10 out of 10. Pretty good. Sets, 10 out of 10. Message though, moral message. If you watch Barbie standalone, it's 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Overall, I would rate Barbie a solid 70 out of 100. It's 70 out of 100. 70 out of 100. That's 70 out of 100 Barbie. Okay. I wasn't here for your opinion of Ken. Is he Kenough? He's more than Kenough, chat. He's everything. Who made the thumbnail to though? He's so good. Made me click the live stream. The one who made the thumbnail is actually Bing. Bing made the thumbnail. Thank you, Bing. He is me for real, for real. Exactly. Again, even though it's called the Barbie movie, I actually think it's a Ken movie. Would you say just watch classic Barbie movie rather than 2023 one? Yes. Yes. You should watch the classic Barbie movies instead. You should watch the classic Barbie movies instead, alright? It's way worth it. It's way worth it, chat. And for those who are new in the chat, I made a live stream for it. I made a ranking video for all of the classic Barbie movies. I tackled them in detail on which ones you should watch first, which ones I recommend for newbies. And if you haven't seen that, I'm gonna be linking it in the chat. Hold on. Okay, here we go. There you go. For those who are new in the chat, you're free to check out my Barbie ranking movie. There you go. I plan to go to the cinema and suit again for the FNAF movie. Go ahead. That's good enough for me. Guys, thumbs up. Honestly, I was only tempted to watch the Barbie movie because I saw a ton of pink. A lot of people were tempted by it too. Let's watch it, newbies. I'm a newbie so let's watch it. Oh my god. You're not a newbie, James. You're not a newbie. Stop lying. Maybe you missed it, like... Oh yeah, by the way, for those who are gonna be watching Barbie movie, James, since I know you do have the phobia, be warned, the first minute of the movie, it has dolls in it. So close your eyes. Just don't look at the screen for like 5 minutes and then open them again when the "It's Pink" theme song is on. Oh yeah, that shade of pink is copyrighted, sadly. FNAF movie, you know, I got low expectations for it after the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer for FNAF, unfortunately. Also, since we're not since we're straying from the topic already, let me switch over to this chat room. And hold on. Let me switch the background since we're already straying from the topic. I'm gonna have to be time-stamping this later. Hold on. Don't worry, chat. Just give me a moment. Alright. There we go. Alright. Since we're here in the general chat now. I will go to the FNAF movie ready to fight children. Oh my god, why are you gonna fight children? Now that's something I'll watch. Spoiler segment over? Yes, the spoiler segment is over. We are back in general chat. It's okay, we can talk about anything right now. I will go to the FNAF. I'm actually waiting for One Piece movie. Really? One Piece? I hope it's good, by the way. Because I've seen anime adaptations adapted into live action and it's usually not really good. Miki not fixing bed again. Hey, I fixed the bed. Spoiler segment over? Yes, it's over. The One Piece is real! Can we get so much high? Oh, wait. The chat is not. Come on. Be that. Yo. Be that. Yeah. Hold on. It's a little bit too big for me. Woo. Okay. There we go. Much better. Can we get so much higher? Lads of Northern America. Do you get Shin Kamen Rider and Shin Ultraman screening on your theaters? I haven't checked. Model has fallen asleep. No, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I was looking at the screen. Typhoon is messing up my Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, how is everybody, by the way? Is everybody else affected by the typhoon? I hope you guys keep safe. I don't know how dangerous the typhoon is, but I hope you guys stay safe. Thank you for using my music. Hello there, Grisadol. Thank you so much for making such dope music. Honestly, thank you so much. Thank you so much for even allowing me to use it. Thank you. Thank you, I'm so honored. Thank you so much for tuning into today's stream. Hello there, Tristan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning into today's stream. I appreciate it. I've seen you a lot in the comment section too. Very safe. The typhoon, once arrived in Romania, gets stolen instantly. It arrived in Romania? Really? It was in Romania before? Can you give us a quick rundown on what to prepare for in the endurance stream? Okay. Unibear, you're outside the capital then. Sorry that I am late. It's okay. So, let me pull up this list of the games that we have. Okay, so for the endurance stream, it will be on July 30. We will be playing Alien Swarm Reactor Drop. Make sure to download these games. Either Alien Swarm, Reactive Drop, Goose Goose Duck. Hold on, let me fix that. Hold on. Reactive Drop. Okay. Please download either of the following: Alien Swarm Reactive Drop, Goose Goose Duck, or Crap Game for July 30. And in Goose Goose Duck, we won't be using any microphone. So please do not attempt to use the voice chat. It's not gonna work. It won't be heard on stream. So don't try. Make sure to have this the codes for this room. It will be shown on screen. So do not worry. It's open to everybody. Unless you don't have a PC. I apologize about that. In East Asia, typhoons are like common weather type. Maybe it's just because I'm in the Philippines. We didn't ask the typhoon its name. Crap Game? I love that game. Yeah, you are free to join this. You're free to join this on July 30. Currently building an FA Girl model kit. I am planning to redesign the Barsac in Barotrauma. Oh, cool! We get a new submarine in Barotrauma. I don't want to watch both on a very sussy website, so I'm gonna wait for another month. Ooh, you're gonna wait for another month? Oh, that's gonna be a long time. Oh, wait, what? There are 28 votes for this? No plan at all? I'm about to watch both. Okay. I'm surprised. A lot of people voted on this. Anyway, Miki, thank you for sharing your thoughts on Barbenheimer. Goodbye! I salute your choice of model kit line and Admiral. Yeah! Honestly! Thank you so much for continuing to provide submarines for the Milko planet. I love it. I'm saluting you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, buddy. What else? Anybody else that has questions before? Anybody else that has questions to ask? Because I already explained on what to do for the endurance stream. Just make sure to have these games downloaded and you don't need to do anything else. I'ma go eat dinner now. Goodbye, Miki. Okay. Gonna end the stream? Yes. I know it's like a very quick stream, but again, this is a movie. Like, this is a movie review. Having a good day, Miki? Yes, I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day. So should we assign professional roles? Oh, you're from the Philippines, Tristan? So how should we assign professional roles? Alien Swarm Reactive Drop? What do you mean? We're not gonna be... Barotrauma is not included in the endurance stream. What about Jazz? Am I right? We'll have to see. We'll have to see in July 30. What do you mean by professional roles? Why we Filipinos so many here? Oh my god. Oh my god. This chat is filled with so many... Oh my gosh. What are you celebrating on the 30th? Yeah, what am I celebrating? Nothing. We're not celebrating on 30... We're not celebrating anything. We're not celebrating anything on the 30th. It's just that a lot of you have requested... A lot of you have requested to do an endurance stream. What time does the endurance stream start? It will start on... It will start by 7:15 p.m. JST. Hold on, let me update it. 7:15 p.m. JST. We will start a little bit early for this stream. Alright, see you, Admiral. Their culture from 100 miles away. Do you guys have like superpowers? Oh my gosh. But thank you. I'm so excited for this. Me too. I can't wait to play with you guys. I can't wait to do the endurance stream with you guys. I want to play with you all. So good luck to everybody. And I'll be having my next stream on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.